On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, how long has that pie been in Dean's room?
And how many grunts does it take to get to the center of a Dean Mon? Let's do this.
Welcome to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. I'm Diana.
I'm Liz.
We're going to talk Season 10, Episode 3, Soul Survivor.
Soul Survivor.
Yeah. So, before we do that, what have you been up to, Liz? What do you got going on?
So it's that blah part of January where I feel like nothing is happening. And I know things are going to be coming up, but it's also the weather's not great, and so you don't really want to go out and do things. I don't really want to do the outdoor project stuff that I have to work on because it's not pretty outside.
Correct.
And so what I have done is bought a box of the Little Debbie Valentine's Day cakes that aren't really like food, and just have been going through those at an amazingly fast rate. And just there's a chemical in them that once you start eating them, it just seems like smart to keep eating them.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, and you'll just be in the other room, and all of a sudden you'll just get this craving. You're like, what the fuck am I craving? And you want to be like, oh, it's Little Debbie's.
Yeah.
That bitch is calling me again.
That bitch is calling me again.
Fucking Debbie, man.
Yeah.
So that's what I've mainly been up to. I mean, it was honestly,
No, it is that weird time of January. Even when I've been like, oh, I should go to this thing, and then I don't go to the thing because...
there was a comedy show last week, and it was 30 degrees. It was not freezing. It was 36 degrees and raining.
Gross.
And that's just I don't want to go get into my car and then drive through that crap and then maybe skid off a highway or something for some stand up.
Yeah, we had 2 pseudo snow days. So parts of Dallas, Fort Worth area had a lot of snow. The part I'm in got 0. I mean, we had snow falling from the sky, but it didn't do anything on the ground. So, but I got to go to tea at the Adolphus, and we've been to the Adolphus before. It's lovely. So.
Still haven't seen a ghost.
I know. I was telling my sister that it's haunted, and she's like, "Cool. Where's the tea?" I'm like, "I know." So
did you have fancy hats on?
We did not have fancy hats.
I don't think you did tea then.
I know.
I feel like it's kind of a requirement. You have to at least put a paper hat on or something.
I don't know if they would have allowed paper hats, but we dressed cute and we went and had tea and champagne and little finger sandwiches, and it was lovely. And it was expensive, but it was lovely. I know. Don't you love a finger sandwich? A bunch of little bites. It was just a bunch of little bites.
Just little bites. That's all.
It was perfect and lovely.
And sometimes you're not really happy what's in the little bite, but you're still going to eat it anyways.
Because it's the little bite. You don't care.
Little bite. Yeah.
I don't know. I was happy with that. It was a fun experience. They still had their holiday decorations up, and that's a big thing. So it was fun. And then, I don't know. I went to Houston and back real fast. I learned that Buc-ee's makes cotton candy flavored mints in a tin like Altoids, and you think they're disgusting at first, and then you can't stop eating them.
How would you buy that?
Why? Because I love cotton candy flavored stuff. And I was on a road trip, so I was like, I'll buy these mints. I'll eat some mints.
There's just not a flavor that I pick out of wanting.
Candy?
That sounds horrible.
Oh, I love cotton candy flavored shit.
Well,
yeah. I also love Peeps. I mean, this is fact.
That's true. You like an absurdly
marshmallow
weird
and
processed sugar flavor.
Yeah, marshmallow and cotton candy flavored shit I'm in. So anyways, I've been eating those excessively and fighting a cold. Yay. Because that's what you do this time of year.
That's what we do this time of year. So we get sick.
Yep.
And then we pretend that we're not. And then we just go on. And then eventually, like, you stop pretending and you're just not sick anymore. And it just all kind of blends together.
Yeah, because then everybody's snotty, so no one notices.
Yeah, so then you get
and then everybody gets not snotty, and it's fine. It's
fine. It just kind of mellows out until spring comes, and we all get snotty again.
Well, and then it's all allergies.
Yeah,
but yeah. So I don't know. That's my world.
So still not a ton going on in the SPN land, except that Jared Padalecki is in talk for another series in which he will play a doctor this time and a rural, I just realized I had to say that word, rural doctor. And so that one, I think it's a CBS project. So that may be happening for him. So kind of, they're like, yeah, it's like Walker, but instead of a ranger, he's a doctor. So that, and they said that doesn't mean like the spinoff and the firefighter thing. That's still may happen, but
interesting.
Yeah, and nothing. Yeah, that's the main update that I've seen so far. I don't think you haven't seen anything else, have you?
I have not. Yeah, I'm just excited to talk about something in this episode.
Okay, well, there's many things to talk about in this episode.
I know.
Which I forgot to read in the wiki what Soul Survivor was based on. I think there is an album or something. I don't know. So this was season 10, episode 3, and it first aired October 21st, 2014, and it was directed by the one and only Jensen Ackles. This was Mr. Ackles' fourth episode to direct of Supernatural, and was written by the Bang Up team of Buckner and Ross Lemming. So we start off with a priest who is doing a blessing.
Yeah, and at first I'm super confused about what's happening because Sam's standing in the background dressed as a doctor, and we realize that the priest is blessing a fuck ton of blood in the blood product storage room at a hospital.
Is this a normal priestly duty? Is this just something that happens at the hospital all the time that we just never noticed?
I don't think so. I think that Sam hired this priest to come bless this blood.
And
I'm sure the priest was just like, sure, dude. Like, no questions.
That sounds fine. This seems normal.
And the priest leaves, and Sam loads up a cooler full of blood and drives back to the bunker and goes to his file cabinet dungeon.
Now, he goes back to the bunker and he parks baby outside. And we have shown on this show, there's a garage full of many, many cool things. And you have a tunnel that you can drive into. And then you just like walk into and it's supposed to be like a lair. And you're just like, I'm going to park this very obvious car outside.
On the side of a road. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we go from that to the file cabinet dungeon.
Right. And Dean is tied to a chair inside the devil's trap in this space where Crowley Woods was tied up. Because Sam got the blood blessed so he can do the cure on Dean.
And he does say that he got Dean's blood type, which is, I think we learn in this episode is type O, but yeah, so Dean's blood type is type O. I'm sure I'll quiz you about that at some point in the future, so just put that in your head.
Shit. Okay.
And you're like, I'm sick. I'm never going to remember that. And she's going to ask me about this like 3 months from now.
No, I'm just kidding. And Dean's like, well, I don't fucking want to be cured. Why are you doing this? And he's just trying to goad Sam. I get to use that word a lot in this because people are just fucking with each other. So Sam just throws a bunch of holy water in his face and starts doing an incantation. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, and then Dean just starts doing some weird grunts. Kind of what I would imagine he would do like an exercise video.
He's growling. Yeah. But he's also talking shit. But he's also saying like, so growl, grumbling. Anyways, so yeah.
Then we cut to the Pimpmobile.
Yeah, Cass and Hannah are still driving, and she's calling out that Castiel is not fine. He can keep saying he's fine, but he's not. And he's like, yeah, that's the thing humans do. They say they're fine. Even then they don't.
Because nobody really wants to know what your problems are. We just don't. So if I ask you how you're doing, and at least I really hate it because you ask me how I'm doing, I'm like, God damn it, now I have to lie. I'm fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Stop asking.
And he's like, yeah. So he's trying to explain that it's a human thing to just say you're fine, and she's like, I don't know about this. Still not convinced because you look like shit.
You look awful. And maybe, you shouldn't be doing this. And he's like, you don't understand. Like, this is bad. Sam can't be curing Dean alone. And especially it doesn't work. And then he's just left with this demon. And then what do we do? And
he's going to have to kill him. And that's bad.
Yep.
He's going to have to kill Demon Dean.
And so Hannah's just worried. She's just sad. Mm-hmm. And then Cass has sad eyes. And everyone just has worried eyes.
A lot of worried eyes. A lot of worried and sad eyes in this episode.
Yes.
Cut back to Sam and his sad, worried eyes. And he is injecting Dean again. And Dean keeps growling. And he seems fairly uncomfortable. He's like, you could be killing me? And he's like, Sam's kind of like, yeah, sure, probably. I don't know. But he's like, also, because they don't know, because it's the mark of Cain and how he became a demon, if the cure is going to work. And Sam's like, well, there's no exceptions in the lore, so this should work. And Dean just starts talking shit about lore.
I know. He talks shit about lore, and then he talks shit about the metal letters being a bunch of crap. It's too much, Mr. Dean. It is too much. But Sam will not take this bait. And he will not argue with him.
He's not doing it, which is because it's not the real Dean. So he's not worth his energy. Good job, Sam. But Dean's like, no, it is the real me now. And how about starts going off about how the Winchesters are just do-gooders fighting against the natural order. But guys like Demon Dean are the natural order. But
and superior. And then he starts with the argument of the truth, which is that Sam is probably just as bad as he is. And sometimes we've seen Sam do some very morally questionable things. Yeah. And we learned that Sam did some fucked up shit. And we get it all laid out right here. And we're just like, oh, shit.
Yeah. We get a flashback to a bar where our friend Lester was drunkenly bitching about his wife cheating on him. Also, we also know that Lester's a jerk, but that's neither here nor there.
But still, we found that before
doesn't justify any of this.
Yeah, before he did the deal, he was a drunk man crying in a bar about how his wife Mindy
was cheating on him.
Yep.
And Sam manipulated him by telling him that he can have the payback that he wants. We just got to summon a demon and goes and shows him how to, and summons a demon for him. He didn't even show him how. He does it for him and hides in the trees while the Crossroads demon appears to Lester.
Well, Lester still has to say the words, and then Sam just becomes Hermione in the bushes, and Lester's like, Voluntate, and Sam's like, no, it's Voluntate! Leviosa!
It was very Sam. It was very Hermione Sam, for sure. For sure. Anyway, so yeah, and then, but Sam has this whole plan of how he's going to grab this demon, but Lester's real fast and like, kill my wife, thanks, bye, kiss. And like, luckily.
He's super fast. He just makes the deal super fast.
Luckily, apparently, Sam was able to snag, I can't even talk, snag the demon. But anyways.
So he like ends up, he gets her and he hangs her up. And she's just like, none of us know where Crowley and your bro are.
Yeah. So Dean is like, look, you basically killed Lester because I killed Lester. And by the way, his wife is married to that guy now. So
good for Mindy. I'm glad. I think Mindy may have found true love with her tattooed man.
Also, though, this wasn't very long. Like, how long was this? Like 30 days?
I mean, Mindy has a plan. She has things to do.
The tattooed guy from her bowling league, according to Lester.
Yeah, they look good together. So Dean is basically making the argument that Sam is worse than Dean because he not only cost Lester his life, he also cost Lester his soul.
Right.
And that's if you're talking, we're kind of get that Osiris scale that we had at one point of things that are. Sam's scale is tipping pretty hardcore to the black eye category here.
Yeah. Not good. And then, so Sam, though, tries not to react and does another round of injections as Dean asks him if Sam has the stomach for what he has to do if this doesn't work. Meaning, kill Dean.
No.
So, well, we cut to Crowley's throne. His little, space is weird. Is this, I don't know. We've seen him in, a cool house.
This is his trial thing in hell, but it really just kind of looks like a side hallway that they stuck a throne in.
Yeah, in a weird basement. I don't know.
It's not the most luxurious of throne rooms.
No, it's weird. So, and he's got people getting dragged in. He's getting accused of high treason for people that helped Abaddon, it seems like. Yeah.
Yep, and so he tries one who gets taken away without any evidence, who's just guilty of high treason, and a hot demon in a flight jacket takes her away.
Yeah, and this white-haired, bearded, older demon approaches, and they don't really say his name here, but I think it's Guthrie, and he's like, hey, people are getting really tired of waiting. This is taking a very long time. And Crowley's like, that's what you do in hell? You fucking wait. It's fine. Get over it. But he also has an update on Castiel and says that his grace is fading. It's a good time to kill him. And Crowley's like, interesting. Follow him and keep me informed.
Well, I sit here and fantasize about my time with Dean.
Yeah, because then he zones out to reminisce in his time with Dean. It's really awkward. So we're just watching him. And then we get a new demon that's going to approach, and he thinks he's super cool. Because he's going to explain how he's going to call Crowley out by saying, I'm your supporter, but also that was real fucked up that you went on this sabbatical, but it's okay, I'll be your new bestie.
Yep, he wants to be his wingman. He loves to party.
I love to party.
He too. He loves to party. He loves the ladies. He loves the classic rock and roll. And, bonus, he won't be a personal embarrassment.
Ooh. So I think that was the line that Crowley could not handle, implying that he was embarrassed by Dean in any way. And he snaps his fingers, and this dude, smoke disappears. I don't know.
He poofs away.
He poof out.
And nobody else has any comments after that.
Nope. So Castiel and Hannah are lost and trying to use a paper map on the hood of the car.
Why they don't have GPS, I do not understand. At this point, it was 2014. You could probably get it on your phone. At the very least, you definitely have MapQuest and probably a TomTom or a Garmin or something in your car.
Yeah. And she's bitching about her body, but it also could sound about the car, talking about being confined and primitive. It's kind of funny. She's also noticed that Castiel is declining pretty far right now.
But I'm not really sure what she wants him to do.
Well, but he's like, I'm not going to steal another angel's grace, and I'm not going to Metatron. I think she wants him to go to that runaway angel and steal that bitch's grace. I think that's what she wants.
Yeah, maybe. But anyways. But she doesn't say that outright. And his phone rings, and it's Sam. Yeah.
And he's like, look, the treatment's not working like it did for Crowley. I'm concerned that I'm killing him. But where the fuck you at, basically? And he's like, he's not possessed. This is the only treatment. Remember, it's not your brother.
Yep, and Caston also does you have to be prepared again. So we have this being reiterated. Then Sam says that he will leave the entrance unlocked for him. What the fuck is wrong with you, Sam? Quit leaving the bunker open. This is how you get people in there that kill you or things that are not people. Lock your goddamn door. It's not that hard.
Yep, and Dean's going to start monologuing again and talking about how this Dean doesn't have the guilt of the world. That Dean is long gone. I chose Crowley over you because I'm tired of babysitting. What is it? Your lame ass. Is that the line. And that mom would still be alive if it wasn't for you.
Yeah,
I never had a
goes
brother
deep.
and I quit. It's fucked up. I
That's
can't
a
even
burn.
Yeah.
I blame you for my mom being dead. Ooh, that's hard. And then he's just like, what would you say to dad? And then, we also get a Winchesters don't get to quit. That comes from Sam.
And what would you say to dad? And he's like, Dad, that's a prize that brainwashed us to waste our lives to fight his losing battle. Woo!
Maybe okay, cool. Maybe you finally got to process some shit about how terrible your father is. But so then Sam just stabs him again with his full of blood,
yanking his lame ass out of the fire.
And then Dean just grunts some more. And then he wheezes.
The grunt growl is weird. Yeah, and it's
so
very guttural. It doesn't sound like it's coming from his mouth. It's really weird.
Yeah, they said in the wiki that Dean was the only demon who has an animal sound besides Abaddon. And I don't really know if they both have animal sounds as their demon personas, but yeah. And also you have to remember, I think about this throughout this whole episode, that Jensen is directing himself.
That's wild.
So is he just you need to grunt more? I don't really believe that grunt. Grunt harder.
Yeah, that's awkward.
That's a completely.
Or did he really just was the grunting in the script, or did he just add that because he wanted to?
I think the grunt was in the script, but it could have been an actor's choice.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, Crowley is still trying demons for treason, and kills one. And
someone kills. It was an Abaddon supporter gets sentenced to death, and somebody sentenced carries out the execution. Yeah. And I just thought it was interesting that they had a demon killing knife. It was just because it was just they stabbed him. At least I didn't have an angel blade this time, but I was thinking it's interesting when a demon killing thing shows up. So they had a knife that was the.
But didn't Sam and Dean get their demon knife from a demon too?
They got that from Ruby, yeah. So but there are not a lot of them.
No, they're not. They're not. They aren't just floating around out there.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah. So basically, we have another demon appear, and he's like, Crowley, you can't control us or your kingdom. You ran off with Dean. This is fucked up. After you binged on blood, you ran off with Dean. You can't control shit. And he self-immolates in the middle of the little court.
With Hell Whale.
That's weird.
Yep. And it makes Crowley think.
Yeah. Because they said you squandered our loyalty and self-immolates. Things you don't see every day. Also words you don't get to see every day. But I like self-immolation. Self-immolation. Yeah. No word of the day. All right. So we've got Cass and Hannah are at a gas station. And this place does not look functional.
They're at Little Levi's.
Yeah. And Cass is trying to still talk to her about how this... Basically, he's telling her not to get the feels. He thinks she has the feels. He's telling her to not... Because he has the feels. Because they both have the feels for each other. Obviously.
But he does it in the most man way possible, which is just so he's just can you not take a detour? And she's like, fuck you. I know what you're trying to say, bitch. I don't like you. And he's just emotion feelings are dangerous. She's like, I don't have feelings. Fuck off. I know what you're trying to say. Shut up. I'm trying to pretend I don't have those. Fuck off.
Yeah. It's super awkward. And she's like, sure, I get it. I know what our priority is. I'm going in the store now.
Yeah, I get it. Please stop. Stop rubbing it in. So, and then she goes inside and there is a spilled coffee cup, which is not good.
Never a good sign when there's no one else in the store and there's spilled coffee, because she finds the clerk is on the floor with their eyes burned out. They have been smote.
They were smoted. Uh-oh.
And our rogue angel, Adina, is there and she puts puts her angel blade to Hannah's throat.
Yes, there you go.
That's the order of words. Yes.
That's okay. My notes say a blade to Helen, because I've been working on a trial of a woman from the 40s named Helen. So that mine does not say Hannah; it says Helen. So,
well, Castiel comes in because he's like, oh shit. No one, by the way, we didn't kill your partner on purpose. We didn't want that to happen. And so I'm going to pull, they both have angel blades pulled, but he is way too weak to be fighting. And he's just like, just kill me and let it go.
Yep. And then she kicks him through the door, which I feel like is a lot.
Yeah, she's going to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. And then she punches him a lot.
It's a lot. Well, in the meantime, Sam has gone to visit Dean's bedroom, where apparently they've been letting half of a piece of cherry pie rot for the entire time that he's been out with Crowley.
And so the bunker may have like a ward to keep mice away and cockroaches, because Dean's room, would be really gross. But yeah, so there's some half-eaten pie. There's some Asian fetish porn. Yeah. Then underneath the pie are photos of Mary and John and Bobby, and then them just being bros and various tours through Sam Winchester's hair.
And Sam looks at them and then gets ready to leave, but he still doesn't throw away this old ass pie.
Nope, he just, is also, but the thing is, I know, I can kind of see this happening, right? Because you're just in the room, you're like, shit, I need to throw out that pie. And then, like, you leave and you still don't throw out the pie. And then you get, like, probably, like, outside the bunker. And you're like, God damn it, I forgot to throw out that fucking pie.
I bet if the pie was grosser, he would have thrown it away.
Yeah, and then he's just, and later he'd be like, Dean, like, do you know there's fucking pie in your room? And like, it's still like 3 weeks later, that pie's still gonna be there.
So gross. So gross.
It never goes away. Anyway, so pie, blah, blah, blah. Then we cut back to the gas station.
Yeah. Where Crowley's now here. So Castiel is bloody as fuck. I got the shit kicked out of him by Adina. But Crowley is there. And that's interesting turn of events. Is he going to try to kill Cass? We shall see.
Like his underlings suggested, we don't know. But we're going to go back to the bunker to find, oh no, Dean has escaped.
He has escaped. And that is not good for Sam. But back in little Levi's gas station, Adina is torturing Hannah for the death of her partner, Daniel. Crowley interrupts. Well,
and Hannah, like, is also, like, shut the fuck up, Hannah. Hannah just, like, Daniel's death was your fault. And Adina is rightfully, he's like, bitch, we just wanted to be left alone. And Hannah's like, but you killed an angel. And she was like, but we just wanted to be left alone. And the angel wasn't leaving us alone. So we killed him.
Yeah. Yeah. That's totally reasonable. Like, their whole thing that they went after them was fucking whatever, angel bullshit. But there we go. So Crowley slits Adina's throat and takes her grace.
And then he puts it in like this frosted glass tube that's got the skull top on it, and it kind of glows. It's like adorable. I want to store things in it. Yes. I want to know where you bought this.
Where did you just carry around this cute little like glass cylinder with a skull top?
I would like to hope he does. Yeah. And I wish I was the type of person, and I am the type of person who would. So anyway, so it's very good. And we go from there, and then we go to bunker, and then playing hide and seek.
Yeah. And so, because Sam's going to go, he's got to sneak around because he's scared of Dean, rightfully so. We know Dean has demon power, right? And he's on the loose, even if he's been getting juiced up with human blood.
And Dean is walking with a purpose, which I also was imagining Jensen being like, and now Dean walks with a purpose. And then like he walks through.
Yeah. And Dean gets to the kitchen and he considers a butcher knife, but
cleaver. Not a butcher, cleaver.
Oh, a cleaver. Sorry, meat cleaver. You're correct. Meat cleaver. But ends up selecting the hammer that happens to also be in the kitchen drawer. And
I feel sometimes my hammers have ended up, because I never know where my hammer is. Like they just disappear, and sometimes they do end up in your kitchen drawer.
Never.
But he also
Really?
Shut up. Yes, of course they have. And sometimes, so I think he just really misses ODT. And the hammer is probably like the closest thing. He was like, Cleaver, do you look like a donkey bone? And then he's like, Hammer, yeah, you look like disgusting old teeth that need to be flossed. Let's pull you out.
Yeah. Well, back at Lil Levi's, Crowley is giving Adina's grace to Castiel and says, look, she was killing Hannah, so your hands are clean. So I killed her and your hands are clean. And you are useless to me dead, so you need to have your grace back, brah.
And so, yeah, he basically forces it down his throat, and Cass is kind of fully healed. And it really does, lead to some, questions just about how, like, grace can be transferred from angel to angel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there a type, like a blood type, like a grace type?
Mm-hmm. Didn't he burn through that other grace fast? Is he going to burn through this? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. But he seems fine for now. So, okay.
Yeah. Yep. So
Crowley wants to team up. Well, he's not to team up. He wants to send Cass to go fix the Dean problem.
Yeah, because it's not sentimental. If whatever has to happen. That's it.
So we go back to our hide and seek game in the bunker.
Yeah, where Sam locks himself in the electrical room and shuts off the power. And I'm like, I don't know how this is helping. But we figure out it's because it, like, locks a bunch of doors. Anyway.
Yeah, it puts the place in a lockdown. So maybe, like, the door that he left open for Cass will be locked?
I don't know. Either way, Dean's hunting Sam. And it's weird.
Yeah. And so everything now is lit by the red lights. Dean says the less demon he was, the less the cuffs and the devil's trap.
Oh, yeah.
Worked.
So it's Sam's fault that Dean is loose because basically the cure was working. So he was less demon, more Dean. And so when he was less demon, the cuffs and trap no longer worked for him. Which is fascinating. And it's actually a good excuse. But
that didn't happen with Crowley, or Crowley just didn't care and just didn't want to escape the devil's trap. But it's a very interesting point. I'm just like, okay, you're no longer a demon. Well, then you can't hold me this way.
Yeah. But he's still demon-y because he's still trying to kill Sam.
Yeah. So Dean ends up getting the lights back on, and then Sam now locks him into the electric room. And wants to finish the treatments.
Right. And he wants Dean to let him finish the treatments. But Dean is just going to break down the door.
And I can't tell if he's breaking down the door with the hammer or if he got an axe, because he gets through this door pretty good. And I feel like that hammer, maybe the hammer was the right choice to do if that went through the door that fast. Or he had an axe and then switches back to the hammer. I don't know. But Sam doesn't want to use the demon knife on him, which then makes me also question, would the demon knife kill Dean?
Because he's a special demon. Does Sam need ODT?
Because the mark of Cain, Dean is invincible. So, could he kill him with a demon knife?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Stab him. Let's find out. So, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Dean and his hammer are just walking around, and then Sammy gets to duck as he almost gets hit in the head.
Yeah, and Sam does put the blade to Dean's throat, but Sam won't do it. He drops the blade. Dean's eyes flash black, and right when it's almost too late, Castiel has arrived and grabs Dean
and hugs him. He gives him a bear hug.
Bear hug from behind.
He bear hugs him. He humps him from behind, and as he's hugging him from behind, Dean's eyes flick back black, and he makes more grunty noises. He's like, "Oof, oof, oof! You're hugging me so hard, Cass."
And Sam's tearing up,
and Cass is just like, "Shh, baby bear, it's over." Shh. A little cub, it's fine.
It's not what I watched, but okay.
then it's just like, I'm just gonna tie you back up again, baby. So Cass just takes him and ties him back up in the chair while Sam pumps him full of blood.
Yeah. But what's interesting is, so Cass is talking about this, or they're talking about this. Dean's like, I don't want this. I don't want to be cured. I don't want to be human. And Castiel's like, I see your point. Only humans feel such joy or such pain. And that is easier just to be a demon.
Which is very, when he said that, I think this is very similar to in Vampire Diaries when a vampire shuts off their humanity. Right? It's like, it's easier to be a demon and just party all the time rather than suffer through the pain of being a human.
Yeah. But it's also like Castiel's been kind of talking about throughout a little bit, it's been a theme recently at least, how unique the human experience is in that it does experience those things. But anyway, so Dean looks up and his eyes are demon black again, but then the black like fades out instead of like a solid flicker, like a fade out from the sides.
Yeah, and so you're like, okay, like, is this Dean? And Sam throws holy water on him, and he doesn't burn.
And he says, "You look worried, fellas."
So Dean's back? ?
He looks kind of mad.
He's tied to a chair.
So we see books on demonic possession.
Yeah, Cass is looking through my lore porn.
Practitioner's Guide to Exorcism, and
got it. No, it's kidding. So Sam comes in, and he says that Dean is tired but hungry, so he's gonna get him some junk food.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna get a big old bag of crap food and stuff it in his face myself. Oh. Anyways,
a bag of crap food.
But Cass is like, look, I'm gonna keep an eye. He still has the mark of Cain, which is still an issue.
Yeah, we can't forget. Like, things are great, but he's better, right? And Sam's just like, I can't.
One at a time. One thing at a time.
Solve one problem, motherfucker. Don't you put another problem on me. Like, we went through one. Like, we're not at that problem yet. We finished phase 1. Then let me just indulge. Like, phase 1 is good. We're gonna get some fries now. Yeah. That's what happens. Phase 1, fries. Yes. Phase 2, we'll get some. We'll deal with that. Maybe we'll take the pie out of the room. Also, this means Dean is back in the room with the half empty slice of pie. So that is happening.
It is there, and I'm upset about it. But anyway, Dean is looking at the family pictures that Sam had found earlier, and Castiel stops by and tells Dean that he looks terrible. And Cass is like, I'm back temporarily. Dean says he looks good. And
there's a chick in my car.
Yes.
So Hannah's just been sitting outside in the pimp mobile this whole time. She's just out there. Which I guess I can also see her being like, I'm not going in that bunker. Which, fine, Hannah. We can get that, right? Yeah. And Dean's just like, I feel real bad that I tried to kill my brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't feel good about this. And Cass is like, you're okay. It's okay. Take time to heal. And it's relatively quiet out there between heaven and hell.
Yeah, it's going to take more than you just trying to kill your bro with a hammer to make him stop loving you. And that is some unconditional love. You try and kill your brother with a hammer and they still love you. That is a bond. For the most part, I don't care if you're my brother. If you try and kill me with a hammer, we're probably going to talk about our feelings for each other.
Yeah.
That may be a break.
Maybe a reset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But also, I do feel like Cass is just jinxing this, being like, it's quiet. Take a break.
Like, this is a terrible thing to say. Why would you say that?
Yes. So he's like, okay, take your self-care time. Mm-hmm. And then we go to this new place. What is this place? By a fire.
Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Take me back to Tulsa. Who is this? Redheaded woman reading a book.
Well, yeah, fancy sitting room, redhead lady reading a book, and blood starts dripping on her from the ceiling. That's annoying. Don't you hate it when that happens?
I hate it when that happens.
2 hotel employees are plastered to the ceiling, just staked there, dripping blood. And they don't say a name, but if you know anything, you know who it is, because I can't avoid between the conventions and everything else. Obviously, I know, like, I've heard of.
You've seen her, and you've seen her,
yes.
And she is my high and the glorious lovely. We'll get to who she is. I mean, it's Rowena.
Yeah.
That's who the fuck it is. I mean,
Yep.
So we'll get to who's playing her in a minute, because that's how the episode ends. So before we get to our casting notes, it's time for in this world of political climate, something we call tweet libs. No, there's nothing political about this at all. And maybe we'll get more hits from a culture war. I don't know. But so during this episode, the cast and the crew did some live tweeting when it aired. So we are going to go through those tweets. This is from a WordPress, Donna Gaff, WordPress.com. And so they have archived the tweets from that night. And so what we're going to do is we're going to, hopefully Diana's cold soaked brain can handle this. So we're going to kind of go through this like Mad Libs, right? So I'm going to ask you for a couple of things. So our first one, we're going to talk about a tweet from Mr. Jensen Ackles, right?
Okay.
And for this tweet that he said, I'm going to ask you to give me a title like doctor, but not doctor, in the profession.
Like Mr.?
Yeah.
And fishmonger.
So Mr. Fishmonger. Okay, so that ends up with the tweet. Here we go, Mr. Sam. Ha ha. The one-armed fishmonger is in. Now, for extra bonus points and that we keep track of, can you guess what those words should have been? So the tweet from Mr. Ackles now says, here we go, Mr. Sam, ha, the one-armed fishmonger is in.
I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, so it was, here we go, Dr. Sam, ha, the one-armed doctor is in, because Sam was in a sling in his doctor's coat in the beginning.
Yes.
All right, so this next one, I need a thing.
A thing. A guitar.
So this tweet says, again, this one's from Jensen, hashtag Dean Mond needs a haircut. Any longer, and he's going to start growing guitar. No offense at Jerpad. So what do we think he said instead of guitar? So hashtag Dean Mond needs a haircut. Any longer, and he's going to start growing what?
I don't know.
Moose antlers.
That's funny.
No offense. Ha ha. Okay, so this next one, I need a thing and a thing.
A thing and a thing. Let's go with...
Or a noun. Thing, noun. They're the same things.
I'm blanked completely. Let's go with a taco and a flower.
So Jensen tweeted, at Mark Shepard, your son is upstaging you, or is it the taco on your flower? Toss up. So what did Mr. Ackles mean to Mark Shepard? So this was Mark Shepard's son was one of the extra demons in this episode. So Jensen said, at Mark Shepard, your son is upstaging you, or is it the taco on your flower? You're not going to get this. It is the finger on your face, because during that scene, Mark was really...
Oh, when he was doing the big push.
It was really like,
he was really getting into it.
Finger. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yep.
Damn it.
So for this next one, we're still they grouped these by actors, so I just kind of went with it. I didn't reorder. I thought about shoving these through the episode as we went through, but that was far too complicated. Okay, so this one, I need a hashtag.
Oh God. We're going to go with hashtag Devil's Trap Podcast.
All right. I like this. So that makes this tweet. Well, since we were posing and tweeting like we're 12, here you go. I like to wear a Devil's Trap Podcast shirt for an extra effect. Now, what hashtag do you think Jensen said there?
Oh, I don't know.
SPN. That would be SPN. So, and then he tweeted a picture of himself wearing a Supernatural t-shirt.
Okay.
All right. So, this one, let's see. Let's skip that one about him being a hack director. All right. So I need a verb or an action and a body part.
Let's go with twirling and pinky finger.
All right. So Jensen tweeted, at Jensen Ackles, at JerPad, I think I still have a scar from getting twirls in the pinky so many times that day. Thanks. Damn director could have moved on. And then Jared Padalecki tweeted at Jensen Ackles, well, I didn't want to be the only Winchester with a bum pinky. So can you think of what he didn't want to do in the wear?
I was trying to think. So would it be, I don't know, something, I'm so focused on something with their arm because of Sam's arm.
It was Sam. One part is right. Yes, you got arm.
I was gonna say like stabbed in the arm, but that doesn't really.
The stabbed is close. It's jabbed.
Okay.
So the tweet was at JerPad. I think I still have a scar from getting jabbed in the arm so many times that day. Thanks. Damn director could have moved on. Then Jared said, "Well, I didn't want to be the only Winchester with a bum arm."
Oh yay! Look at me.
Yeah. So Jared came through and started tweeting, wait a second, tonight's Supernatural, woo-hoo! And so now I need a verb or an action and a body part again.
Action and a body part again. Mm-hmm. We're going to go with dancing and toes.
So this tweet says, from Jared, my favorite body part was dancing the director in the toes and purposely messing up so I could keep doing it. Smiley face emoji. So instead of dancing, what do you think he was doing?
I don't know.
He was slapping. This was when he was hitting Jensen in the face.
Yeah. Okay.
Do.
Yeah. Whew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. Sorry. We'll have to cut. Yeah. Didn't puke though. All right. Okay. So this next one comes from JerPad, and we need two different actions.
Two actions. Let's do petting and punching.
So this ends up saying, poor Cassio, there's probably nothing worse than seeing at Mark Shepard right when you pet. Then the reply tweets came from, I forget who the reply tweet came from. Actually, there's something worse at JerPad. Oh, from Misha. There is something worse at JerPad. Seeing Mark Shepard right when you punch. So the real tweets were supposed to be, poor Castiel, there's probably nothing worse than seeing Mark Shepard right when you wake up. And then it was actually, there is something worse, Jared Padalecki, having Mark Shepard be the last thing you see as you drift to sleep.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. All right. And let's see, a couple of ones that wrap this out. All right. Oh, this is going to be, I need an occupation.
Let's go with engineer.
I need a thing.
Let's go with light bulb.
And an action.
Cooking.
So this tweet now ends up saying, from Jared Padalecki, quote, at the real G-pad, Genevieve, why do they have to be above her? Referencing the poor dead engineer. And Genevieve tweeted at Jared Pad, I mean, why aren't they on the light bulb or something? Who wants a light bulb cooking on them? And the original tweet was, why do they have to be above her? Referencing the poor dead hotel workers. I mean, why aren't they on the wall or something? Who wants blood dripping on them?
It's reasonable.
Yeah. Some other memorable tweets from that night. Mark Shepard tweeted at Jared, new hair. And to which Jared replied, maybe he's born with it. Maybe he's Maybelline. Osric Chow, Kevin jumped in with a bunch of things in here, and he was like, all right, Dean Mon sounds like a Pokemon to me. Has anyone caught one of those yet? And then maybe he'll be cured and he'll be a super mega ultra champion Dean Mon. Misha tweeted when Jared was going through the room where all the fetish porn was, go for the porn. And also, that was quite a ride. RIP, hashtag Dean Mon, you will be missed. Welcome back, hashtag goody two shoes, Dean. Misha also tweeted, weird choice to be using a hammer to go after Jirpad. Couldn't you have used a knife or something more menacing instead? And Jensen replied, I agree, hammer was an odd choice, or was it a hashtag awesome choice? Then Misha replied, Jensen, I know you're new to Twitter, but you still have to spell check. You misspelled your hashtag. You meant hashtag awkward choice. And then there was a whole bunch of other really fun tweets from that night. But yeah, so that was the thing that happened in a game we did. So tweet libs.
Tweet libs. Woohoo.
All right, so you got some cast notes to walk us through to end us out?
I do.
Casting couch. It's the casting couch. Were they on that show that time with that guy? La 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 la.
So, our demon number 1 was played by Stephen Hussar. He's been in episodes of Smallville, Fringe, Shadowhunters, The Flash, and iZombie. He was Yorkie in Letterkenny over a dozen times, and is currently Luke in Chesapeake Shores as an ongoing character, and has been in a bunch of Hallmark Christmas movies. Additionally, he's been in a Hallmark series called The Jane Mysteries as both an actor and the executive producer. Guthrie is the name of our elder demon that was talking to Crowley. Is played by Russell Roberts. He's a recurring actor in Supernatural. He's also been in episodes of MacGyver, Once Upon a Time, a couple episodes of Riverdale, and Resident Alien. He was also Greco in the 1990 release of It, and was a suits commander in Ernest Rides Again. He's done a bunch of voice work in a bunch of Barbie cartoons, as well as Ghost in the Shell, and is Mr. Benty in Twilight New Moon. Rowena, whose name we don't actually get in this episode, they don't say her name, is played by Ruth Connell. so excited to get her character, and now very exciting for me. She does the voice of Rowena in all of the Disney video games. She is the night nurse. She makes an appearance as a night nurse in Doom Patrol, but is the recurring night nurse in Dead Boys Detectives.
Don't cancel it.
Don't cancel it. Bring it back. And also makes an appearance in the Winchesters.
Yes. So, and a few of our just kind of like, I was like, just some fun cameos. Yeah, some cameos that were in this. Cameos is my new word. So Max Shepard, the son of Mark Shepard, he was an uncredited appearance as a demon who hands Crowley the documents. Then also Danielle Ackles, her brother Gino, was the hot demon in the flight jacket, and the niece Valerie was the one who got sentenced away. So we got that family that was in there. Fun. So episode 3.
Yeah. Well, I'm relieved that they're not going to carry
Dean Mon.
Yeah, I had not seen or heard Dean Mon yet, so now I'm disappointed that we're 3 in and I'm just now learning this. I am relieved that Demon Dean is going away, and excited to meet Rowena.
Yeah.
That's my summary for this episode. That's what I got. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel a little abrupt, that we got Dean on for 3 episodes, and maybe they were just like, we can't have, a Winchester being a demon for that long. But it feels abrupt.
I mean, it does. It feels like it worked. It doesn't seem like it worked right, but at the same time, I'm glad that we're not carrying that on. I think that's
I know. I still would like more of the misadventures of Growly and Squirrel. I think, they could have, or at least given us more of those. I mean, we get some in flashbacks, but I feel like we could have gotten some more really good road buddies times with the two of them.
I don't know. Maybe.
Some good karaoke times, at least, and some bull riding and all sorts of fun. If I was on a road trip with them, I'd have a blast.
That's reasonable. I don't know if that makes for the best show, but it does sound fun.
Yeah. Oh, also in the family thing, so the name of the gas station, Little Levi's, that is also a shout out to Jensen's nephew, Levi's, and so they put the sign for the gas station up in his nephew's bedroom. So it's very sweet.
That's cute.
Yeah, so that's family in this. But, and it's always fun when, one of the characters takes on the role of directing. And, I think Jensen did a good job with it. I mean, wasn't that strenuous of an episode to direct, Jensen? I thought it was well directed, and it was still enjoyable.
I agree. I enjoyed it. It was stressful.
It was stressful. I mean, not but not, a series changing episode. No. I mean, honestly, we can go through it okay, Dean's not a demon anymore. Kira went through. We didn't really, I mean, now I'm kind of talking myself out of this episode's kind of mediocre, I guess.
But it's fun.
Yeah, sure, whatever. That's good. All right, no, it was, the episode was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Oh,
all right, on that note, cheers, jerk.
Cheers, bitch.
Devil's Trap Podcast is a Don't Be a Dick production. Meow.
Devil's Trap Podcast is part of the Ship It Studios Podcast Network. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Devil's Trap Podcast, Twitter at Devil's Trap Pod, or you can email us at devilstrap@devilstrappodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave reviews, and share with all your friends. We're at all your favorite podcast outlets and at devilstrappodcast.com. I'm Babe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.